Hey everybody, we got a new video for you today. We're going to go over the next video in the series. We started this off, I started maybe a few weeks ago, um, basically just talking about I was calling my shot on the election. I was going to say Trump's going to win. It's not going to be close. I talked about why it was. First of all, I'm not a political strategist. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just a regular guy, but I have a ton of street smarts. I was raised that way, and on this channel during COVID, we spent a long time walking through how to make a ridiculous amount of money just using street smarts, not having four um, monitors on and measuring all these fundamentals. I didn't look at any of that stuff at all, but just looking up at street smarts. And so I knew that after the election, I wanted to do something, and there was going to be an opportunity. And it took a while for me to figure out what it was. And then when I started looking at all the numbers, I just really started to, and the sentiment in the country, I saw where things were going. So if you haven't watched the first video, make sure you do that. You can pause it and go back if you want. That's fine. But anyway, I recorded a couple of videos afterward, just honestly just saying I called my shot on it. And that we were going to get into specific things that the Trump administration was going to do. And there's very, very specific areas and places where you can make a lot of money. I showed other people that were saying the same thing. Very, very smart people with a lot of money who are thinking about where the ball is going to be in 3 to 6 months. So that's how you make money. And so anyway, I didn't really hit into the specific stocks that I went into for the most part, but I want to go my preliminary first round today and talk a little bit about, kind of what I'm looking at and where my mind is at. So, and I made a couple moves today. We'll talk about that as well. But since the election, I can tell you right now, this is where the market's been in the last week. At least my portfolio, it's gone up 25%. And for the most part, I haven't really made a lot of moves. In fact, I probably sold a couple things just to, give myself some dry powder for what I really want to do. So anyway, let's take a look. And just in the last day, it's gone up, what, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. $4,000 just today, right? And I honestly haven't really done anything. This is just where I thought the market was going to be. And so we're going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to lead off with some Bitcoin, and we're not really going to focus too much on that, but I think that's very instructive as far as the other things and the rationale behind what we're doing. So, all right, Bitcoin is at 89,000. This, if you look at this in the last, let's go 3 months just to kind of get a sense of where things are. I could tell you that's where the election was. I don't even have to look. You can see it's ragged up to this point. And at the day of the election, it was sitting at 67,000. It's at 88 today. It's gone up 20,000 in a week. So, and you say, well, why is Bitcoin going up? Well, you'd think if inflation was going to be a big thing, Bitcoin would be a hedge against it. But one of the things is Bitcoin got knocked down when the government regulation got involved. So Trump actually gave a speech at a Bitcoin conference this past year, and he said one of the things he wants to do is eliminate all the regulation on it and have the federal government actually work with Bitcoin. And so this is the influx of money. Trump gets elected right here. They hear what he says, and they know he's going to do what he does, what he's going to say he's going to do. And so, it went up 20 grand. Should I have put some money in it? Yeah, probably should have, but I didn't. Anyway, I wanted to at least cover that with you. Let's go to the next area. We're going to hit in this area. There are 8 stocks that have to do with energy. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing here. Target Hospitality is one of my favorites, and I'm trying to figure out what play I'm going to do on this one. This one, if you guys aren't familiar with it, basically, you can read here, but basically what they do is all the oil fields in West Texas, they basically do hospitality services, which means residential services, food services, everything else like that. So if you want to get a good grasp on it, you think of the oil, think of the gold rush, and the people that made the most money weren't the miners. They were the people that sold the pickaxes and the jeans. And Levi Strauss, that company, was one of them. So that's kind of what they do. Is the more oil that is being brought out of the ground, the more these people are going to have work. So you can see, right, where's the election? Well, let's go a week and let's go a month, sorry, so we can see where the election is. Yeah, the election is right there. So you can see beforehand when they didn't really know where it's going, and then when Trump, they knew Trump was going to win, let's say about right somewhere in there, and you can see it just went up. Now, I'll tell you, I have money in this right now. I've had this for a while. I mean, I've had this since 2020. And that was when I really bought it when it was an oil play more than anything else. I wasn't buying it for this purpose. So I bought it at 912. I've made a little bit of much money on it. But if we go back 5 years, this is basically COVID. This is the COVID drop right here. And for a while, this was when nobody was really doing much. And then you saw when the cost of oil went up, this was the Biden inflation marker. It jammed up here. So this is basically market volatility from it. So anyway, what I think is going to happen here is I think when they really unleash the oil, I think this is going to be something where this company gets a lot of play. So with that in mind, I have a limit buy. If it ever drops down to 725, which I want to say is somewhere around a little bit below right here, then I'll put a buy in. I'm not sold on my buy price, but I figure that's a good place to get in. So that's one of the things that I want to do. Hedge funds, I'll tell you right now as we go through this, I'm not going to really pay too much attention to the hedge funds or the insiders. That's what you see up here, hedge funds and insiders, unless it's a November one, because it doesn't reflect the election, so it's meaningless. But there are a couple, I believe, that had November, and so you might see something there. This company always hits its numbers, so that's really cool. But we're looking at here is I had basically buys and sells at around $9. So, which is about where it's at right now. So if you have any questions on that, like any of these, just put a comment in and let me know, and I'll respond back to you. All right, so let's get to the next one. Sasol. This one is not a U.S. oil company. They do sourcing, producing, and marketing chemical and energy products. And they are in Africa, America, and Eurasia. Of course, that doesn't narrow things down. I mean, I guess you're not in Europe or Australia. So, but anyway, they're in South Africa. So anyway, they would follow the global energy demand. All right, for the last week, this has actually gone down. Why? Well, Trump got elected. So that might have something to do with that, but doesn't mean it's going to be there. Over the course of time, here's the COVID drop as they came out of the pandemic, got up to about 26, and then the inflation went, the inflation drove basically the amount of goods being traded down, and you see it going down. So I'm not really sure what I want to do with this one yet. 63% buy, 37% hold, so that doesn't help me at all. This doesn't help me whatsoever. And let's see, do I own any of this? Yeah, I own it at 617. So who knows? Maybe if I get up to 617, I'll sell it. I don't know what I want to do, but it's just something that I was looking at. All right, Helix Energy. And by the way, this is kind of cool just that I'm walking you through this, because I'm not just showing you things that I want. I'm showing you things that I looked at, and some of them I like and some of them I don't. All right, Helix Energy. They do subsea construction, maintenance, and salvage services of offshore natural gas and oil industry. And the Biden administration hated this. They were trying to get rid of it. California is trying to get rid of it. But I can tell you Trump is going to be really, really big in getting those back up. You can think of it on the West Coast or the East Coast, but for the most part, when they say that, it's usually going to be Gulf of Mexico. So, all right, see the COVID drop here, kind of went up. This is kind of during the COVID period, went up. and generally did pretty well and then dropped back down. So, I mean, it's consistently a good producer. I don't want to buy it high. So let's look at, let's see, the Robinhood purchases, right? And these are all before the election, November 8th. So you can see it went from here to here to here, and then the election is right here. So that might mean something as far as people buying it. Hedge funds are a lot higher in November. What is it? 92% sell, I think, right here. 99% buy, 1% sell. So that's kind of cool. And then insiders, we don't really have anything. That's from October. All right. So 88% buy. Nobody is selling. Some are saying hold. Generally, they meet their numbers. Well, they didn't meet their numbers here, but they've met their numbers recently. And let's see here. All right, so I have this at 975. It's a little bit above that right now. So, I mean, I kind of don't want to buy it right now unless it drops a little because I want to make money on it. So, kind of the low point right here is 670-ish. It's sitting at 10. So, for me, it's a good stock. I have it on my list. Not sure that I want to buy it here. It's up to you, but one of the ones to look at. All right, clean energy fuels. This is provision of natural gas as an alternative fuel for vehicle fleets, buses. I mean, that's mainly it. Compressed natural gas and liquefied natural gas vehicle fueling stations, generally buses. Let's see, founded by T. Boone Pickens. He's like the richest dude like ever in Oklahoma's history. I don't know who Andrew Littlefair is. And yet it's headquartered in Newport Beach. So who knew? Let's take a look down here if there's anything notable. All right, that is Q2, so that doesn't mean anything whatsoever as far as the election goes. But, I mean, as far as it seems like there's a positive trend here. 89% buy. Nobody's saying sell. Oh man, they're blowing their numbers out. So the question is it worth a value? And then I see this. Well, that's 1 day, so that doesn't mean anything. Let's go back a month. And where's the election? The election is right here. So sitting at 292. Went up to 325. Not a big jump. Let's go back in 5 years to see a wider view of this. All right, so this is the COVID thing, and then it had, the mania in 2021, and it's kind of had a flatness, but that's the Biden administration. I mean, you'd think they would want, this would be a good Biden one, but he even wanted to get rid of natural gas. So let's take a look in the last month. And there's the election. So it responded positively to that. So maybe we get a price point on that. So if we can get it maybe at like $3, maybe it's going the right way on that. I don't have any orders on this. Did I have any before? I think I sold it at 377 a while back, but that's one definitely to consider. So I'm considering that as well. Viper Energy, this one is acquisition. That means drilling of oil and natural gas properties. Acquires, exploits oil and natural gas properties in North America. When they say exploits natural gas, it means fracking. I mean, that's just what it means. Headquartered in Midland, Texas. That's where Target Hospitality generally was, right around there. Let's see. We got any Novembers here? Yep, November, 68% net buy. So that's positive. Definitely see a positive trend there. For Robinhood, for hedge funds. Again, we're seeing Q2, so that really doesn't help us out too much. And we see hedge funds, they only have to report per quarter, and Q3 hasn't been reported yet. So we're probably not going to see anything for that. And then no insider activity. So that really doesn't mean a whole lot. 92% buy, nobody's selling. That's great. They hit their numbers every time. So that's good. No surprises. And then let's take a look at 3 months. All right, there's the election. Positive response, went back down. Maybe that's an opportunity. So big jump on the election, went down from about 52 up to 55. That's not that big of a jump though. So let's take a look at what do they have here? The 52-week high, 55, 52-week low, 26. Ooh, let's take a look at that. All right, so this is definitely on the upside. That's right, I remember about this. It's gone up. So like the value at 31 would be great, but if it's sitting here at 53, it means people have already made their money. So if it has a drop, I'll take a look at it. And maybe you want to buy it for sure, but for me, I kind of want to see it. Oh, I want to see a drop first, just so that I can make the money back when it pops back up. All right, PBF Energy. I've owned this before. I know this guy. All right, operation of supplies, transportation. So they don't actually. I don't think they actually drill for oil, but they handle all the. They handle all the logistics for the oil companies, lubricants, feedstocks, etc. Refining and logistics. So basically, refining is they dig it out of the ground. That's the first phase. Refining is the second. And logistics is actually moving it around the country and around the world. So, so they're kind of an affiliate, whatever, but they're not drilling anything. So for Robinhood, they're moving in the right direction, but not a ton. Hedge funds aren't going to report because, in fact, I don't even probably need to look at those because that's Q2. And then insiders, the same thing. Oh, actually, they reported November. So they're buying, a lot of insiders buying, so that's kind of good. It doesn't mean anything necessarily, but it definitely helps. Odd that it's a 75% hold. Maybe that'll change. But they do have their kind of earnings going down over time, although they met them. So I guess that's kind of good. So let's look at 3 months. Definitely went down, which I kind of like. And then we have basically the election about here, but hasn't done anything. Let's take a look at the 52%. 52-week low is 27, high is 62. We're sitting at 30, which means I bet if we go out, we're going to see it go way up, which we did. All right, so it looks like it went down to about 40 and then popped up and went down here. So I don't know. I mean, this is a maybe. There's some good things about it. I mean, people are like the insiders are buying it and they hit their numbers. But I like the fact that they're working. They're working. The more it gets drilled, the more they, more you do, the more they operate. So I think that's probably leaning in favor of buying it. And considering it's dropped that much, I mean, if it goes back to like just here, we make a ton of money. So I'm probably going to buy on that one. I know I used to have this. Let's see. Yeah, I sold it at 15 and it's sitting at 30. So anyway, yeah, I probably would buy this one again. All right, this one is new. I haven't really looked at this one. Devon Energy. In fact, let me add this. No, that's the alert. Where is? I don't know where the button is for that. Anyway, I'll add that to my favorites. I don't know where that's at. All right. Let's see. Exploration, development, production of oil and gas properties. So these are the drillers. Delaware Basin, Eagle Ford, Heavy Oil, Barnett Shale, Stack, and Rockies Oil. If you ask me where that is, I don't know. Headquartered in Oklahoma City. Let's take a look at these guys. All right, Robinhood. They bought it more than they bought it now. Hedge funds probably aren't even reporting. Nope, I'm not even going to look at them anymore. It doesn't matter. Insiders, doesn't really tell me much. 62% buy, the rest hold. A couple slaggers are selling. All right, they generally hit their numbers, but it's a little inconsistent. Let's take a look. Let's break it out. 3 months. All right, I like that it's going down. Let's go to a year. All right, it's been up top here at 54. A little volatile in these steps, but it's down here. This one might be something to look at. So if I did it, probably would say the lowest I got is 37, a little about 38. Probably about at 40. You don't need to be greedy about it. see, where are we at with this? This one is, yeah, 62. All right, so I'll add this. I'll probably put a buy-in on this. I literally forget. Where is, let's see, alerts. I don't know where it is for favorites. I'll come back to that. We're not going to close that tab down. All right, this is a new one as well. I just looked at this one today. Schlumberger. I think I'm pronouncing that right. All right, Robinhood. Little inconsistent lately on it. Let's look at the insiders. Nothing. That doesn't tell us anything. 94% buy. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Very consistent. Hit their numbers. Probably going to hit them again. All right, let's take a look. So this is a good start. And it went down. So generally volatile. It's been up to 50, been up to 54. Just call it 50 to round it up. It's sitting at 44. And it's gotten down to about 40 and about 40. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll put a buy in right now. We'll just say 40. And then I'm just ballparking this. I don't know how much of that's going to be. Yeah, I'm not buying 20 grand of it. All right, let's do. All right, that's worth looking at. All right, 10 grand's good. All right. All right, so it's been placed. We're good. I got to add that to my favorites because that's a new one. All right, Redwood Trust. Let's see. This one I know pays a dividend on it. This was an old COVID one. Regional. Okay, so this now we're going to get into housing. This is my housing stock. There's going to be more, but this is the only one that I'm going to talk about today. Residential mortgage banking, business purpose mortgage banking, and investment portfolio. Consists of a mortgage loan conduit that acquires residential loans from third-party originators. So basically, you get a mortgage from your bank, they buy the mortgage, and they sell it on the bond market. Hence, sale, securitization, blah, blah, blah. So they're basically a mortgage bond company. All right, so let's take a look at these guys. 70% buy, that's good. Nobody's selling it. Their numbers are going up, so that's awesome. And let's take a look. Past year. All right. Generally been trending up. It's gotten down to about 550. It's got up to about $8. And it's sitting at 722. All right, last 3 months, yeah, about $8, 712. Maybe, I don't know. I would do it if this number was a little higher. I'll look at it. It's on my list, so pays a dividend, which is nice. I'm not ready to do anything now, but maybe in the future. All right, Zoom Info. This one has kind of sucked lately, so hopefully I'll walk you through it. Maybe this is a little bit of why it might not even be relevant. This is going to be my single tech stock we're going to talk about today, for lack of a better term. Not big tech, just tech in general. It's a holding company. So basically, they have other companies that do cloud-based platform that offer information on organization professionals for sales and marketing teams. Basically, a CRM for sales, right? For leadership, that just means they run sales analysis on it, sales development, marketing. That usually just means email and things like that, and demand generation, sales and marketing. So we're basically looking at a CRM. Not great for the Robinhood they're voting this down. Hedge funds, ironically, are up. But that was Q2. And insiders, other than this, they haven't really done anything either way. 52% hold, 54% hold. The rest are split. Numbers are fine. Took a little bit dip on the numbers. Um, so it's sitting at 12. I bought it at 16. I don't know. I'll probably sell it at 16. Let's do this. What I bought it 16.25. Limit order 16.26. I'm allergic to losses. How many shares do we have? 500. All right, we'll do 24-hour market. Feb. All right, fine. We're going to do extended hours. What are we doing here? Oh, that's why I'm on buy. Duh. All right, so we're going to do a sell limit 16.26. 500. All right. So part of it's just to free some money up if it goes up, and then I could spend it on the things we really want to spend money on. All right. Wine Electric. All right. I'll tell you why I looked this one up. When the Lanai thing happened, this stock tanked, and I thought it was going to be a value stock. So I keep my eye on it every so often, but I have very little expectations on it. So let's see if we can find the tank point. That might have been it. No, there's the tank point right there. So it's sitting about 35, tanked down to 13. And I wasn't sure if it was just badly run or not. Sometimes you buy those stocks and you just get eaten alive. So over the course of the last year, got down to about 7, bumped back up to 16, and then went down. So it screams of bad management. So, all right, nothing consistent for Robinhood. Hedge funds are undecided, and there's no insider information. They've missed their numbers the last 3 times. So let's see here. All right, let's take this. Oh, okay, that's how we get off the watch list. All right, I'm just taking this off. There's no point anymore. All right, Dollar General. So this is one. Obviously, you know the Dollar General stores. I don't have to go into that too much. Last year, they were sitting about 122. They nosedived to 80. And they've been generally around there since there. All right. Robinhood's hit and miss. A little bit undecided. All right. Insiders haven't done anything. Big hold. Although they hit their numbers. Let's see. Not really something I do on. Let's move on. All right, Dave and Buster's, originally a COVID stock. Obviously, they do Dave and Buster's. The stores, duh. Hate them, love them, hate them, love them, hate them, love them. So maybe we're on a little bit of a roll. That's the Robinhood people. Hedge funds decided they really liked them in Q2, but it's tough to say. Insiders haven't really done anything lately. That's October. Very inconsistent. 60% buy, 40% hold, no sell. They generally hit their numbers, although they projected a way lower number here, so that's not good. All right, so for the last year, all right, they were up at 65, went down to about 30. And we got to look at the election. Nothing really notable there. I mean, it's going in the right direction. So maybe later if they go down, but I don't know. What do I have as my limit buy? 35. So that's probably right around, kind of right around here. So that's what I was going to do. So that's what we'll do. Golden Entertainment. All right, now we're in the casinos. We're going to hit our casino sector. So they do development, finance, management, ownership of casino properties. Nevada, 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 Nevada. All right, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right. Let's see, Robinhood likes them a little bit, and insiders haven't said anything. 86% buy, 14% hold. Nobody's selling. They had one weird quarter. They generally hit their numbers. Let's take a look at over the last year. Let's say, how about this? Let's look at them since Trump. Curious what the casinos are. All right. All right. 18% since Trump got in. Been down as low as 27. The last year has been up as 41. So it's kind of going up, down, up, down. We'll see what it goes. It might be worth looking at, though, to be fair. There's the election. So maybe that's something to say right there. So 28 since the election, it's at 33. I had it at 28. So yeah, take a look at it. I have my order in. If you guys decide you want to do that, then that might be a good thing as well. All right, Penn Gaming. This is basically sports betting. Manage gaming and racing facilities, video gaming terminal operations with slot machines all over the country. All right, let's take a look here. Robinhood is just definitely not like them a lot. Hedge funds liked them a lot before. Insiders haven't done much on them. 42% buy, 57 hold. So, yeah, they generally hit their numbers, so that's good. Let's look at them over 5 years. Yeah, there's your COVID splurge, basically settled down, and they've been sitting here around $20. Not a whole lot of movement either way. It just goes up and down, but really within the range. 3 months, same thing. There's the election. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I have it. I'm down on it right now. I bought it at 29. So if it goes up, I'll take it, but I'm not super confident in it as like a slam dunk. So let's go to the next one. MGM. Obviously, they do MGM casinos, and I imagine they do the studios as well. Robinhood's liked them lately. Let's look at insiders. Insiders generally okay. That's not consistent enough for me to feel super great about it. 83% buy is nice. Nobody's selling it. They beat or hit their numbers all the time, so that's great. And let's see. I have it at 34. It's at 37, so I'm a little north of that where it's at right now. In the last 5 years, it's been relatively consistent. In the last year, I mean, the nice thing is when it goes up and down like this, it's a great buy sell. It's gone up to 47. It's been as low as 34. So what's the buy percentage on this guy? 83. All right, I already have it, so I'm just going to let mine ride, but definitely might be worth looking at. Whenever you see these two, it's probably a short-term play, but take a look. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, DraftKings, obviously sports betting. All right, we'll go down. And these stocks, because they're done on like cell phones, it really depends on the state. Like the one thing that's going to send this stock high is when California authorizes sports betting. I mean, so you might want to buy some just thinking, if you think it's going to happen, that's your belief, you might want to buy it because when California okays it, then it's going to go through the roof. Nothing big on insiders. 86% buy. That's awesome. Man, they always beat their numbers. That's great. Let's see them over time. There's the COVID stuff. There's the Biden economy. It's gone up in the last year. So again, kind of volatile. Let's see. 48, $49, gone down to 30. And there is the election. Went from 35 to 43. So, I mean, I would say if you're not in this, I would buy it. I bought it at 46, so I'm going to make my money back on this. I would definitely get into this one for sure. And that's just 3 months, man. That since the election is just a notable. I mean, that's exactly why we're doing this. If you don't have DraftKings stock, I would definitely think it's probably a good thing to do. All right, Caesars, same thing. They do Caesars casinos throughout the country. All right, Robinhood hates them lately. People on Robinhood hate them lately. Hedge funds generally like them, but nothing since the election. No insiders. Not very helpful. 74% buy. Split with the other two. They hit their numbers for the most part. They had a really good quarter here, but you can ignore that. That's a skating judge score. And then let's take a look over 5 years. All right, so the COVID mania settled down. Last year, it's been as high as 49, as low as 31. Very similar to the other one. The election happened at 40, and it's sitting at 40. So this one hasn't really moved a whole lot. So I don't know. What's the number on this one again? 74. There's probably better ones out there, but let me know your thoughts. All right, play AGS. And I'm always scared when I see these ones right here. Those weird lines. Those are usually penny stocks. What's weird, it's 11.64. You usually see that when the stock's worth like 50 cents. All right, so they do, what do they do? Electronic game machines, table products, basically like craps tables and things like that. Interactive social casino games. Man, I don't even want to know it. That's like the worst name because they're social casino games. I would think you're thinking slots or interactive or video poker. I don't even know what that means. Also includes server-based and back office systems. So it looks like they do the infrastructure. Felt table games, so poker, blackjack, side bets, card shuffler. So it looks like they do a lot of the ancillary stuff. That was the word I was looking for before. Slots, cabinets, interactive, and table games. All right, Robin hasn't liked them lately, or hedge funds haven't liked them lately. There's nothing on Robinhood, and there's nothing on insiders. So that doesn't help me. Wow, this is all over the map. Miss, huge hit, huge miss. God knows what that last one's going to be. This one has stay away written all over it, I think. Yeah, see this flat thing? I don't know what's going on. I'm not touching this, like straight up. All right, Century Casinos. This is one of my COVID stocks. Gaming establishments, lodging, restaurant, horse racing, entertainment facilities. Ship-based casinos. That's riverboats. Headquartered in Colorado Springs. All right, hedge funds just decided to really like it lately. I'm not really sure what's up with that. They've been okay on hitting their numbers. Let's look at their 5-year. They're going to have a COVID thing on here. Yep, there's your COVID mania. And then about right here, 2024, they just went down from 430 down to 246. The last year was the election. Well, they started going up before the election, so I'm not really sure. Maybe that's the hedge funds that we saw that priced them up. So 242 to 431. Let's look at them for 5 years. I mean, obviously they've been up here before. 7. I mean, so this is definitely worth looking at, but they don't have that little who's buying and who's selling. So I've had this stock before. It's definitely worth considering. And obviously in the last, year they've lost 3%. In the last 3 months, they've gained 87. So maybe, I don't know, if you bought it, you're probably buying late, but it's up to you. Full House Resorts. I've had this one before. This is one of my COVID stocks. All right, 5 years, went through the COVID mania, and that just literally just flattened out right here. All right, they do ownership, leasing, development, operation, management of facilities. So they're in the real estate aspect of the casinos. Looks like they're the landlord. Hedge funds, been quiet on them lately. Insiders, I mean, kind of that's good, I guess. They miss their numbers a lot. That's not good. Take a look at them for the year. Whoa, that is volatile. Okay, I'll just say this: if you're gonna buy and sell to short-term play, that's too much for me. All right, Ryman Hospitality. This was one of my COVID stocks. It's a real estate investment trust. So basically, they own a whole bunch of real estate. Kind of think of it like a real estate mutual fund. They do hospitality, entertainment, corporate, and other hotel properties and hotel operations. Ryman Auditorium, Grand Old. Oh yeah, this is the Grand Old Opry stock. They own the Grand Old Opry in Tennessee. So basically, it's a Nashville entertainment and hotel venture, which is very good. That's why I bought it for COVID. 90% buy, the rest hold. They hit their numbers all the time. Good sign. Let's see where we're at trend wise to see if there's profit room for it. 5 years. I mean, they didn't even there's your COVID drop, but they've just been really consistent going up. All right. The low was about 95. The high was about 120. They're sitting at what, 114. So maybe they've already done it, but they can go higher. There's nothing they can't go higher. In the last 3 months, it's been at 98. It's sitting at 114. So, I mean, definitely one to consider. I don't have it. I'll look at it in the future. Maybe if we have a dip, I'll take that on the dip. All right, and the last one, Red Rock Resorts. This is off the Strip in Vegas, a casino in Vegas. Best hotel room I've ever stayed in was in this place. All right, Robinhood hated it for a while. Apparently, last month people liked it. Hedge funds, hit and miss. Insiders aren't helping. 64% buy, the rest hold. They generally hit their numbers, but the number targets have been going down. So that's never good. Let's look at them over the last 5 years. You're going to see COVID mania. Maybe less than I thought. So that was the COVID drop, and it went pre-COVID from 26 up to 57, up to 61. So it's good for them, but if you don't own them, then you're buying it off of somebody who's making their money. So it went down to 48, went up to basically 61, a little bit more than that. In the last 3 months, I mean, it's volatile, and that's kind of good in a sense. It was down at 50, 51, went up on the election, dropped back down. So this one might be a good one to look at. So, I mean, let's say that you bought it. It goes down to 51 again. I mean, it goes to 58. I guess it's kind of free money. So let me see what the number is as far as the buy-sell. 64. I'll come back and take a look at it, but it might be something to look at. So in the meantime, I'm going to take a look. And one of the things I do is I'll go through these things where you can screen them. It's a 2-year small cap change decline. So the idea is I want to look at stocks that have basically suffered under the Biden inflation the worst and see which ones really provide the most upside. So I'll look there and under Market Watch as well. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you like the video. Shoot me a comment or a question. Think I hated it. That's cool too. I loved it. Maybe you have an idea of something else you want me to touch on. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. And a video will be coming out shortly. I don't know what. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm going to see what I can find and get you some really juicy stuff. But with that being said, I will see you soon. To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.